All right, today we are going to be solving equations with fractions. Fractions are rational numbers. All right, so our first problem is this. We have negative 1/2 plus 3/4 x equals negative 3/5. All right, so we are going to solve this equation to figure out what x is. So the first thing I always do, separate my two sides of the equation. All right, now I want to get the x by itself. All right, so I'm going to save this till the very end. All right, I'm saving this 3/4 x till the end. So first thing I need to get rid of is the negative 1/2. To do that, I can add a half. All right, I'm going to add 1/2 to both sides. If I do that to an equation, it stays balanced. All right, so it's okay. I'm going to add a positive 1/2 to both sides. Well, that side's going to cancel. All right, over here, if I'm going to add fractions, I need a common denominator. I'm going to get a common denominator of 10. All right, so I'm going to do times 2, which equals negative 6. Down here, I'm going to get a common denominator of 10, which is times 5. So if I do that to the top, and I get 5/10. All right, now I can add my numerators. So I have negative 6 plus positive 5, which equals negative 1/10. All right, on the other side, I have 3/4 x. All right, now I want to get x by itself. So right now I see that I'm multiplying by 3/4. I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying by 3/4 and divide by 3/4. So I know 3/4 divided by 3/4, that equals 1. If I do that to this side, I need to do it to this side. So I'm going to divide by 3/4. All right, now I know my fraction rule. When I'm dividing fractions, the first number stays, this switches, and this flips. All right, now I can multiply, going straight across. So across the top, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. 10 times 3 is 30. And I'm going to simplify. I'm going to divide by 2. So my answer is x equals negative 2/15. All right, so there's our first problem. All right, let's try another one. All right, here's our second one. We have k divided by negative 5 plus 1/4 equals negative 2/10. All right, so same thing. I'm going to separate my two sides of the equation. All right, and I want to get the k by itself, so I save this till the end. So I need to get rid of a positive 1/4. I can do that by adding a negative 1/4 to both sides. All right, this side cancels. All right, over here, I need a common denominator if I'm going to add these fractions. So 10 and 4, they both go into 20. So I'm going to change these to 20ths. All right, so here, to get from 10 to 20, it's times 2. So I'm going to do negative 2 times 2 and get negative 4. Plus here, it's 4 times 5 is 20. So times 5 is negative 5. Now I can add these together. So negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9/20 equals, on the other side, I have k divided by negative 5. All right, my next step, I want to get k by itself. So what's the opposite of dividing by negative 5? I'm going to multiply by negative 5 over 1. Well, these simplify to equal 1. So really, I just have 1k equals, over here, I better multiply by negative 5 over 1. I'm going to simplify first before I multiply. So I'm going to cross simplify here. Divide by negative 5, or divide by 5, that's negative 1. Divide by 5, that's 4. All right, let's multiply straight across. So 9 times 1 is 9, 4 times 1 is 4, and negative times negative is a positive. So my answer is 9/4. I'll change that to a mixed number. 4 goes into 9 twice, which is 8, so there's 1 left over. So my answer is 2 1/4. All right, let's try one more problem. All right, my last one, I have x plus 3 divided by 2 equals negative 1/5. All right, so same thing. I'm going to separate my two sides. All right, first thing I need to do, all right, I notice there's a division line. I want to get rid of that division, so I just have x plus 3. So opposite of dividing by 2, I'm going to times by 2. Those cancel, so over here I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1. All right, and see what I get. I have negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. 5 times 1 is 5. All right, so now I just have x plus 3 equals negative 2/5. All right, now I want to get the x by itself, so I'm going to add a -3 to both sides. All right, I'm working with fractions, so I'm going to put that over 1. Okay, I need a common denominator. I'll choose 5, so I just need to change this to fifths. So that's times 5 is -15. Okay, now I have a common denominator, so I can add my fifths. I have -2 and -15, which is -17 fifths. So x equals -17 fifths. I'm going to change that to a mixed number. 5 goes into 17 3 times. That's 15, so there's 2 fifths left over, and it is negative. So my answer is -3 2 fifths. That concludes our solving equations with fractions lesson.